Welcome to FINA Aquatics World. In this month's programme, we'll follow the Red Bull cliff diving qualification. We'll bring you the latest news on 2 swimming stars. And we follow the Aquatic Super Series from Down Under. The Aquatic Super Series in Perth, Australia combined a unique festival of elite and mass participation aquatic sport headlined by the Australian swim team taking on the might of China and South Africa. In focus was the world-class 2-day programme of pool events staged at the Challenge Stadium in Perth. The competition allowed only 2 swimmers from each of the 3 countries to compete in each event. China and Australia's squads featured many Olympic medalists, while South Africa's federation elected to send mostly rookies to gain racing experience. In addition to per-race cash prizes, the event offers $15,000 to the top male and female swimmers of the meet, based on FINA points scored in individual events. On the first day of competition, it was a couple of home swimmers who impressed the most. Christian Sprenger claimed a silver medal at the London Olympics in the 100-metre breaststroke behind South Africa's Cameron van der Berg, who broke the world record in that final. In Perth, there was no van der Berg, who elected not to compete to recover from an injury, but Sprenger impressed nonetheless.
The finish is going to be interesting. Once again, the 2 Aussies are out in front, but Sprenger's holding on to a handy lead.
I reckon Christian Sprenger is chasing the male swimmer of the meet title, so he is just holding on at the moment. In terms of the fatigue level, it's going to be a quick time on the wall.
He slides his way in. The final time, 59.75. Terrific performance from him.
Sprenger won the event with a time 59.75, good for 942 FINA points. Sprenger's Olympic teammate, Brenton Ricard, finished second, while China's Li Xiaoyan was third. Kate Campbell took on more accomplished rivals in the 100-metre freestyle. Campbell, who won medals in the 2008 and 2012 Olympics, won in 53.51. That time would have placed her 5th at the 2012 Olympic Games. Melanie Schlanger was second, while Olympic bronze medalist Tang Yi of China placed third.
It's going to be very interesting. China, Australia and also China in lanes 3, 5 and 6. But well done to Kate Campbell. Second to Schlanger, 2 Aussies, first and second. And Tang just crept in there for third.
But China didn't have to leave the first day of action wanting a victory. First out, the women's 50-metre backstroke, where world champion Zhao Ying and Fu Wanwei represented the vast country.
Oh, the Chinese girls are really dominating this. Look at them go.
Yeah, Yu Wei Fu is also up there, and it looks like she may steal the money there. It was a terrific swim from her.
Well, a Chinese double and victory for Fu in a time of 27.86. Australia's Emily Seabaum, a former world record holder in the event, was third. In the absence of reigning Olympic champion Chad le Clos of South Africa, China's Chen Yin posted a 1 minute 57.84 clocking to win the 200-metre butterfly in style. Zhao Liuyang, the Olympic champion in the 200-metre butterfly, won in Perth with a time 2:08.54. Liu Jige, the world record holder in the event, finished second, while Australia's Samantha Hamill took third. In one of the most anticipated matchups of the meet, Olympic gold and silver medalists Ye Shiwen and Alicia Kutz raced in the women's 200 individual medley.
So here she goes in the final 50. You wouldn't think anyone would catch her now. Ye Shiwen out by a couple of body lengths, striding home in lane number 3. Battling for second and third, the 2 Aussies in 5. It's Coots, looks like she should finish second. And fighting for third as well in lanes number 2, Seabomb, and also 6, Shen Xin Yi. Ye Shiwen wins, Coots second.
Great time by Ye Shiwen.
Ye dominated after the butterfly to win in a blistering 2:09.67 over Kutz, while controversy emerged at the Olympics over Ye's exceptional freestyle leg in the 400-metre individual medley. It should be noted that Kutz outsplit Ye today in the freestyle. Emily Seabaum came third. Australia claimed their fair share of victories as well. James Magnussen, the reigning Olympic silver medalist in the 100-metre free, was in focus in Perth. Magnussen won in 48.38. His Olympic teammate James Roberts was second, while China's Lu Jiwu finished third.
He's going beautifully on the far side.
Have a look at James Magnussen, centre of the pool. Look at his kick. His whole leg is coming out from the knee down. This is a fantastic effort by James Magnussen.
He's turning it on for the Perth locals. James Magnussen will cruise his way to victory in the 100-metre freestyle. Roberts, no surprise there, finished in seconds.
Well, I'll be back with day 2's action a little later on in the show.
The Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series will get underway in May with the first stop in La Rochelle, France. In total, the divers will go through 8 stops during the 2013 season, with the grand finale taking place in Thailand in October. Last year's champion Gary Hunt will of course be back to defend his title, as will top divers such as Orlando Decay, Steven Lebeau and Artem Silchenko. But all divers couldn't be sure of a place in the World Series. In order to select the field, a qualification competition was held on the Hawkesbury River in Australia's New South Wales. The collection of hopeful divers in Australia would fight it out for the 5 remaining cliff diving World Series places.
27 metres for me is a passion. I love to be up there, and as the rookie in this competition, it's definitely scary to come straight into it and get up there, but it's an absolute dream of mine, and I would be over the moon if I could really get onto this and get stuck in, hopefully get up amongst the best.
The athletes delivered some great dives throughout the competition, and the fight for the 5 qualification spots was fierce. A big surprise was Matthew Cohen's 5th place finish, a rookie who learnt his last dives just days ahead of the qualification.
I was diving first, so I didn't get to hear the scores towards the end, and Blake came in and just told me that I made it, and then I was like, no way, I've got to check it out. I had to run over and check the scores out, and I looked at the board, and unreal feelings. I'm probably the happiest guy on the planet right now.
Anatoly Shabatenko finished 4th and has now firmly established his place in the series. Blake Aldridge was disappointed with his performance on the first competition day, but managed to claw his way back on the final day with some difficult dives to make it into 3rd.
Just pure happiness. You know, it's been a stressful week, and I'm just so happy that it's over and I've qualified, and I'm going to be on the tour for another year.
Mikhail Navratil has been in the World Series since 2009, and the 27-year-old is again a member of the cliff diving elite following his runner-up spot. Last but not least, Jonathan Paredes. His execution of all 8 dives was the most consistent, and he overcame his fears and struggles of the past to win the qualification and secure his place amongst the best cliff divers in the world.
I feel so glad. I'm so glad to win the competition. Finally, the last year that was my best year, but now I win the competition, so I feel great. I feel it's amazing. It's just an amazing feeling.
So the field is set for the 2013 Red Bull Cliff Diving World Series, and the first stop in La Rochelle will be the first test of strength for these daredevils of the aquatics world.
One of Britain's most successful swimmers throughout history has decided to retire. Still only 23 years of age, Rebecca Adlington's biggest moment in the pool was the 2008 Olympics in Beijing, where she won both the 400 and the 800-meter freestyle events. In addition to this, Rebecca can boast both long course and short course world championship gold medals. Being one of the big local hopes for the 2012 Olympics, Rebecca failed to repeat her success from Beijing, but still managed to secure 2 bronze medals in London. Another female star who will step out of the pool is Sweden's veteran Therese Alshammar, one of the world's most decorated swimmers with 3 Olympic and 25 World Championship medals among her achievements. But for Tessin, as she is called, it's just a temporary break, as she is expecting her first child later this year. Her long-term goal is still the Rio Olympics in 2016, a competition she would then enter at the age of 38.
Coming up after the break, we visit Austin for the Grand Prix Series. It's more action from Perth and the Aquatic Super Series. And we meet up with a Jessica Hardy aiming for another Olympic experience. Welcome back. In part 2 of FINA Aquatics World, we meet American swim ace Jessica Hardy. The Grand Prix Series visits Austin, but first we return to Perth for the Aquatic Super Series. Oh, we're back in the Challenge Stadium in Perth, Australia for the second day of action from the Aquatic Super Series. Kate Campbell impressed on day 1, winning the 100-metre freestyle. On day 2, she continued her victorious campaign.
And they're away. Slow start from Kate Campbell, but she'll come up okay.
Yes, she has come up okay. The girls take a little while to get off the blocks, but right now they are firing. The stroke rate is exceptionally fast. Bronte takes a breath. Kate has not taken a breath yet. There it is.
Looks like it's between the sisters right now as Kate and Bronte fight it out. Kate at the bottom of your screen. Bronte at the top. Kate might just get there. She does. Terrific performance from the Campbell sisters. And the Aussies on fire early on.
Campbell rocketed to a 24.46 win to give Australia another gold. Bronte Campbell earned second and South Africa's Trudy Mari third. Well, Matt Targett upset James Magnussen in the men's 50-metre freestyle with a 22 dead to 22-21 victory over his compatriot, while China's Lu Jiwu earned third.
And in they go. Up early was Targett. Magnussen also in there. We expect him to really power his way home.
And Shankland's doing well as well in lane number 2, but I think Magnussen's coming to the fore now, hasn't taken a breath. Great 50 freestyle by the Aussie boys.
Magnussen needs to hold on because it's going to be tight, but Targett's got in there. Just reached out and said, I'm going to beat you here.
Well, Australia had another 1-2 as Sarah Katsoulis and Sally Foster battled it out in a close finish in the women's 200-metre breaststroke. China's He Yun finished a distant third. Christian Sprenger dominated the men's 200-metre breaststroke, winning in a time of 2 minutes 11.27, while teammate Brenton Ricard took second and China's Yun Kun Huang snared third. Lu Ying stopped the Australian steamroller in the women's 100-metre butterfly, winning in 58.57 over Australia's Alicia Kutz. South Africa's Mane Erasmus took third place. World record holder Ye Wen of China crushed the field in the women's 400-metre individual medley with a time of 4 minutes 37.04.
She'll come down with a very handy lead, a couple of body lengths on Samantha Havel in lane number 3. Coots still holding on to third. The Aussie fans will want to cheer her home as Chen Qingyi continues to try and steal it.
And she's breathing bilaterally, so side to side. Really good work ethic for her. Sam Hamill trying her best to make sure that she firms up that second spot for the points point of view, but that's a good time, 4:37.04.
Australia's Samantha Hamill and Alicia Kutz took second and third, respectively. Well, the Aquatic Super Series was a success as the host won the overall team competition over China and South Africa. The top male and female swimmers of the meet were local heroes Christian Springer and Kate Campbell. The Grand Prix series in USA consists of 6 stops spanning from November to June, and the second stop brought the US swimming elite to Austin and the Lee and Joe Jamail Texas Swimming Center on the campus of the University of Texas. The 2 big stars in the pool were Olympic champions Ryan Lochte and Missy Franklin, and Franklin stole the limelight right away in the women's 200-meter freestyle final.
30.0 on that 50, that third 50 right there, falling off just a little bit. You see her arms starting to swing wide, just a touch. Doesn't have quite the turnover she's had in the past, but she's still going to be way under 2 minutes.
Missy Franklin, a couple of more strokes, and she will have yet another victory. Quick Carosa from right here in Austin. It looked like she got in for second. She did indeed. And Barbara Jardin will finish in third. But Missy Franklin.
Now, Missy Franklin, representing the Colorado Stars, trounced the field with a speedy effort of 1:57.69. The win gave her a second gold of the weekend, following up her win in the 100-meter freestyle. Quinn Carrozza took silver, while Canada's Barbara Jardin took bronze as the top 3 all cleared 2 minutes. Ryan Lochte was up next, and it looked like the Olympic superstar in his unorthodox swimwear was well on his way to a 6th gold of the Grand Prix series, but the race tightened up in the final length as Ricky Behrens put on full throttle.
He was behind at the turn. What a turnover from lap 3 to lap 4, and Behrens bringing it home.
Did you see that last turn? You've got to watch. That was a Lochte Phelps type turn for Ricky Behrens at the end.
So Ricky Behrens, middle of the pool in lane 4, trailed by a half a body length. Rowdy at the end of 3 lengths, and he brings it all the way home. Good swim by Ryan Lochte, worked awfully hard from 100 to 150 meters before he tried to bring it home, but a wonderful final turn by Ricky Behrens sealed the deal.
Behrens destroyed the field off the wall to win in 1:48.39, coming home in 27.23, while a fading Lochte had to settle for third as Michael Clouet snuck into second. Missy Franklin was back in the pool again for the 200-meter backstroke, and this was a pool record performance.
Her stroke rate is so consistent throughout. You can see that stroke rate of hers. I bet you it doesn't change whatsoever from that first 50 to the last 50. If anything, it increases. She never slips in a stroke. Constantly grabbing that water. Kick starts to throw in here. Now look at this. It's just, it is really a thing of beauty.
Yeah, that is just a dominating performance. Had a body length lead and is going to win this by 3.5 or 4 body lengths in 2:07.31.
Well, Franklin dropped a scorching effort, giving her 3 golds in Austin. Her swim was also her 7th best in her career in what is her top event. Matt Grievers won the 200-meter backstroke for men in a time of 1:58.84 ahead of Tyler Clary, while another Olympian, Arkady Vyachinin, took third. In the women's 50-meter freestyle, Amanda Weir blitzed to victory with a sizzling no-breather time of 25.53 seconds. Canada's Victoria Poon tracked down silver ahead of Simone Manuel. The men's splash and dash was, as usual, very tight.
Fair start, Adrian in 3, Fegan in 4. Below them, Anthony Irvin in lane 2.
Good start there by Fegan. And for Nathan Adrian, though, showing why he swam so good in 100. Boy, he's got some speed.
Nathan Adrian coming on and not taking a breath. And he's got a fairly comfortable lead. This is going to be a win by a wide margin. Wow! In a 50, that was a big, big margin of victory, 21-70.
Wow, I mean, that would have finished fourth in London at the Olympic Games. That's how fast that time was.
California's Nathan Adrian smoked one of his top times ever with a 21.70 to capture the star-studded finale. Anthony Irvin tied Jimmy Fagan for second place honours as both posted 22.43. Well, Colorado Star's Missy Franklin then produced her fourth gold medal of the meet in the 100-metre backstroke and ninth overall in the Grand Prix series. Franklin's time, 1 minute flat, was her 15th best ever. Canada's Hilary Caldwell raced into second and Isabella Arcila completed the top three. Franklin's next target was the 200-metre individual medley.
The UT favorite just out touching. 2:12.49, 8/100ths ahead of Missy Franklin. So Carly Bispo.
Well, Carly Bispo pulled off a tremendous effort with a lifetime best as she touched out a hard-charging Missy Franklin in 2 minutes 12.49. The men's race saw a heavy favourite in Ryan Lochte, who was looking for his maiden title in Austin.
So Ryan Lochte in lane 5 will win this, I am very, very easily. And at the top of the pool was it Tyler Clary who got in for second.
Well, Lochte dominated the finale with a 2:00.98, beating the field by more than 2 seconds. After winning 5 titles in the previous stop in the series in Minneapolis, Lochte now claimed his 6th win of the series. Tyler Clary secured the 3rd silver of the meet, while Connor Dwyer cracked the podium barrier with a 3rd place finish. And that concludes the Austin stop of the Grand Prix series. Next, the US swimming elite will target Orlando. One American swimmer who hasn't been competing during the winter is Jessica Hardy.
The USA has been dominating the international swimming scene during the last decade, induced by the remarkable accomplishments from Michael Phelps. But the Americans have produced a host of top-class swimmers lately, one of them a 25-year-old from California, Jessica Hardy.
I actually grew up playing water polo. In my hometown is where the American national team is based out of, so I didn't have the support swimming until I was much older and I could drive further away to a bigger club team. But I grew up playing water polo with like the best water polo players in America, and I wasn't very good at coordinating with a hand in throwing a ball, but I was definitely really explosive, really strong, and it helped my swimming playing water polo because I got a lot stronger.
Jessica's first international success came in 2005 when she claimed 3 silver medals at the FINA World Championships, only 18 years old at the time. Since then, she has established herself as one of the top swimmers in the world. But it's not all business for Jessica.
I live on the beach in California, so I always go body surfing. I stand-up paddle, scuba dive. I do it all in the water. I also really like to shop and go out to eat with my friends, relax and do the girl stuff. Traveling and learning new cultures, languages, foods, that kind of stuff is something that I'm really excited about doing whenever I get the opportunity. But mostly I'm just a normal 25-year-old girl.
It's very common that swimmers combine different distances and strokes, enabling them to broaden their career. Jessica's combination is, however, somewhat different, as she combines breaststroke with freestyle.
I obviously was started swimming being a breaststroker. You're either born with feet that can turn out or you're not. So I was born being a breaststroker, and then I started entering the 50 freestyle a lot in the US because we don't have the 50 breaststroke, and I was not good at the 200 breaststroke. So I was swimming the 50 free just for fun and eventually got better and better and better. And sprint freestyle has become something that I'm actually really strong at now. But I think just through like pure will, wanting to do well in it, not necessarily because I was born to be a good freestyler.
Jessica missed the 2008 Olympics despite being qualified as she was suspended. 4 years later in London, she was there and won a relay gold medal. But individually, it wasn't as successful since she failed to qualify in the breaststroke.
I didn't get to swim all of the events that I am usually competing in at international competitions, but for me, after having such a long career, the ups and downs of my career, it was just an experience to get to go to the Olympic Games for the first time. I think I won 2 medals. I won a bronze in the 400 freestyle relay and a gold swimming on the prelims of the medley relay. So coming away with 2 medals and an American record swimming, I mean, it was an amazing experience, the time of my life, but definitely still have goals and hopes for the future looking forward.
And looking forward, there's plenty of major events in the upcoming years, including the FINA World Championships in Barcelona later this year. But there's one goal that stands out in the mind of Jessica Hardy.
I think I still want to compete breaststroke in the Olympic venue. It's definitely my most natural stroke, the one I get the most excited about, my best event for sure. So I think getting to swim at the Olympics would be pretty cool. If I start getting my butt kicked, I'm going to have to rethink that plan, but as of now, I definitely want to keep trying till Rio.
Well, that's it for this episode. We'll be back in a month's time with more aquatics action. Until then, thanks for watching. Bye for now.